Welcome back here on the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet. I'm your host, Blythe Whaley, and alongside me is Casey McAdams in his film Hello in Here. Casey, welcome into the red carpet. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, and we want to get started, of course, talking about your film that's screening here, and I want to get everyone caught up. Can you tell me a little bit about your film?
Yeah, sure. It's a modern day Alice in Wonderland, where a woman finds herself isolated in her house, and over time she starts to unravel, and screens become looking glasses, and her phone becomes a rabbit hole, and she ends up on the other side of it, forever changed, and something we can all, look at ourselves in the mirror, and we've all been through that. And where does she end up? And she starts asking herself, what is real?
And when you think about what people are going to have experienced after seeing your film on the big screen today, what do you hope that they take away from it?
There's a lot of open-ended stuff with this, so a lot of questions. I wanted to make something that was akin to a novel, where you can take away from it your own experience. Everyone's going to have their own experience with it, but also maybe look in the mirror and go, am I changing for the better or for the worse, and what have I done? But it's also a way to look back on the pandemic. Obviously, this is influenced by the pandemic, but there's so much more to it, and there's some humor in it. Like, what were we watching during the pandemic? Spraying down groceries. Remember that, And
We want to forget.
right, we do want to forget, but I think it's also interesting to remember a little bit where we came from. The past influences the future, so it's a little bit of both of that. So yeah, just for everybody to kind of look at their own journey, remember it both fondly and a way to work towards a better future.
And I love that. So eloquently put. And what I think is awesome, too, when you think about filmmaking, of course, is sometimes you have to go through some challenges to have those positives. What was something maybe difficult that you had to go through and overcome on this project?
Oh, God, so many things. We got so lucky. First, it's just a great performance by China Walker, who is basically the only person on screen the entire time. And she takes this performance, if she puts the film on her back, and the performance she delivers is unbelievable. I mean, without her, if I didn't find her, we wouldn't have a movie. You know what I mean? It was just so lucky to find her, and it was like an over a year-long process to find the right person. Found her, she took to it, she created the character of Kara and ran with it, and that's what this film is. But we also had, this is just independent filmmaking 101. Some equipment broke. We're out in the middle of nowhere. Our lens filter broke, and our DP was able to shove it all the way over just enough, like a millimeter, so we were able to use it and shoot around the crack. Otherwise, we had been sunk because we didn't have any wiggle room in the budget or in the schedule. And we shot 3 days outside, just picked it from a hat the year before. Didn't rain. Beautiful, just like so lucky to get these things, and it all lined up, and we got ourselves a really good story and a beautiful project, and we're so grateful to Twin Cities for recognizing it and accepting us here, and we can't wait to see everybody in the audience screening this film for the world premiere. This is awesome.
So deserving, like I said, just so awesome that you're here. And I think also about filmmaking, what's interesting is sometimes you learn something about yourself when you're on set, some of the things that you had to overcome, or just in general going through that type of a story. Was there anything that stood out to you that maybe you took from this project that you want to bring to future projects?
Yeah, there was a note in the Filmmakers Lounge. People had Post-it notes and markers they could put things up, and somebody says, storytelling begins with connection. And for me, that's exactly what it was, of like, you need to connect with the story, but also connect with the people. We had a small group of people, and we got to the point where we all kind of knew the sign language or the shorthand for what we needed to do to get everything done day to day. And just the ability to have that code and that shorthand was just crucial, and that took 2 or 3 days to get. And now that I know that's the vital part of being able to have a story and get it told like this way, I'm just going to make sure I can get to that point a lot sooner in the process.
And now when I think about your future and what's coming up for you, is there anything that you want to get into? A different space, a different genre? Is there anything that maybe excites you that you haven't done or that you currently have done but also just want to do more?
Uh, this is kind of a general answer of just like we have come through something that was obviously a very major event, and we're just coming back from it. And, there's been a couple strikes, one's ongoing, and getting people into a theater or getting people to pay attention anymore is very difficult. And there's many ways to tell stories now, from TikTok to feature film, storytelling, and all of it is amazing. There's many ways to tell a story. So now we have to sit down and go, how are we going to tell the stories? It could be short form, it could be long form, it could be episodic, and I just want to sit down and reevaluate, like, because me, obviously my first love is feature films, but feature films have changed since I was growing up in the 80s and watching it to where they are now. So I just want to, after this project, go, maybe there's a different way to tell the next story and not be like locked in on feature film.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that you say that because ultimately some people they find their niche and they're like, this is what I want to stick doing. But it sounds like you just have an open mind of what does that look like for you?
Yeah.
What does that look like for the future of filmmaking? And that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, idea that I'd been kicking around is a horror film or horror series on TikTok. What would that look like? Just like quick hits, but over the course of it is basically a feature film. So what does that look like? Can we do that? Can that be pulled off? I don't know. Let's try.
No, that's so true. And I feel like you're going to be the one to do it just because I feel like the enthusiasm for it is oozing off of you. Everyone I'm sure watching this can feel it, of just how passionate you are just about storytelling and what that will look like. But is there anything coming up that maybe this film also is going to be a part of? Are you going anywhere else with this one?
Yeah, we're in Fort Lauderdale International Film Festival in 2 weeks, and then next year we're in several other film festivals, and we're still waiting on other, film festivals get back to us. So hopefully there's a few more. I want to get this in front of everybody and anybody, and we're looking for distribution, like most everybody at this.
So hello, anyone watching?
Yes. Please reach out. But yeah, it will get out there. No doubt it'll be on streaming platforms, and this is a great story, a great performance by China, and everybody should see it. And yeah, we're going to bang the drum loud and clear, and people will see it and connect to it. Hopefully they connect with it and laugh and cry, and yeah, onward and upward.
Well, hello in here, streaming, playing here at the Twin Cities Film Fest, and it sounds like it's going to be everywhere. Thank you so much for being here on the red carpet.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, stick around. More red carpet interviews throughout the day, and it's going to be fun. Thanks, guys. Come back.